Welcome to the channel, guys, and happy summer. It's gonna be about 100 degrees here in Las Vegas, but that's not gonna stop us from playing more tennis, guys, especially because we have sectionals coming up in August, probably August 12th or 13th. So we're gonna have to practice a lot. And what I'm thinking about is doing some sort of series, a practice series where I'll be doing a lot of drills, some, conditioning workout, and then some match plays just to get ready for it. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's go. Rob is already warming up nicely. There you go. Are you ready to get better this summer, Rob?
I hope so. That's the plan.
All right, very well. Alright guys, I always like to start my warm-up in the service box to get a clean contact with the ball, get my legs moving, and most importantly get my mind into tennis mode. One thing is that I try to do is to arrive on time, and that means about 10 to 15 minutes early. My good buddy Dave Thompson, who's featured multiple times on the channel, told me that if you arrive on time, you're actually late. You have to be there. You have to arrive about 10 to 15 minutes early, and that's very true for tennis because you need time to really get into the tennis mode, right? You gotta get your mind, you gotta get your body ready for it. Tennis is not natural. It doesn't really involve a lot of the daily movements that we do off the tennis courts. So do your best to show up early and get your mind ready, get your body moving, and get a feel for the ball.
Yeah, not getting enough sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're always ready for tennis. All right, now we're backing up for ground strokes. We're basically doing the same thing, but what I'm trying to do is find more depth. Right, just depth is really one of the most important things you can do in tennis, and move my legs accordingly. Notice how I stand much further behind the baseline than Rob, and that's simply to allow me to have more time to hit the ball in front of me by always moving forward. This is not match play. I'm not trying to move my opponent around the court or trying to hit winners, right? I'm really trying to hit clean shots, hit it in front, and get my body moving. I also love to use this time to experiment with my shots, to try to improve my forehands and my backhands. As recreational players, we have limited time or resources, and this is kind of the time where you can really try to tweak your shots, trying to find something that really works for you. And it doesn't matter if the ball goes deep or wide. There is really nothing to win or lose. This is just practice. So, next time, just really try to use that time to improve your shots until you find something that works for you. We're about 10 or 15 minutes, give or take, into the training session. And that's the time to ramp up the intensity. When I feel like I'm nice and warm, I can start increasing a little bit my racket head speed, add a little bit more body weight into the ball, but always hitting right back at my opponent because I'm still trying to rally here. This is not about winning points. Just want to be able to rally at a higher intensity. One thing I noticed is that I rarely see recreational players rallying at a very high intensity. And I think the reason why is that we don't want to miss, and it also takes a lot of energy out of us. The problem is that if you don't hit hard at practice, you're not going to hit hard during a match. So you're going to have to build up that intensity, and that all starts at practice. Alright, we're now starting the interesting part of the video. Side view is a really good way to analyze my own game because I can see where the contact point is. I can see the body rotation, I can see the take back, I can see the racket drop. So it really allows me to analyze my own game from the perspective of a coach, a virtual coach. One thing that I'm noticing and that I want to change from my forehand is there isn't much of a racket drop, which ultimately prevents me from hitting with more topspin. I'm hitting very much through, but not much from low to high. So that's good if the ball is high, if it's higher than the net, but I need to have that racket drop to allows me to hit with more topspin. Also, I have a pretty big racket take back, and that's good. When the ball is slow, I'm able to inject more pace, but the problem is when the ball is fast and deep, it doesn't give me enough time to hit the ball with my preferred contacts. So I'm gonna think about these 2 points, and in my next training session I'm gonna try to incorporate these two keys into my forehand. So I'm gonna try to experiment with a little bit of a shorter take back and a little more of a racket drop. Now hitting some backhand cross courts. I know it's hard to see on the video, but there are two things that I want to do with my backhands, that I want to change with my backhands. The first thing is get my left hand a lot more involved in my backhand, because I come from a one-handed backhand. Sometimes it feels unnatural or not automatic to involve my left hand, but the left hand should be the dominant hand actually on a two-handed backhand, and then the right hand can be used for maybe a little bit more stability and direction. So next time you play, if you can, try to record yourself. That way you can have a better understanding of how you play. Because I can tell you that right now, what I think that I look like was very, very different than what I actually look like until I saw myself play on video. And I also hated, watching myself play. But once you're past this initial phase, you start getting used to, watching yourself. And if you spend a little bit of time trying to improve your game, you start looking a lot more like what you want to look like, and then you start enjoying it a little bit more. And now I actually do like watching myself, just because it gives me a new perspective that I would never be able to see on court, and really allows me to dissect my own game. So we're just finishing off here with some point plays, so I can work on my returns this time, and he's working on his serves. But the main takeaways for today, as a self-assessment, is 2 points on my forehand and 2 points on my backhand. On my forehand, I'm gonna shorten my take back to hit the balls more often at my preferred contact points, especially against deeper and faster balls. And I'm also gonna add a little bit more of a racket drop to add more topspin to my shots. And on the backhand side, I'm gonna involve my left hand a lot more so that my right hand doesn't do the heavy lifting, but use the left hand instead, and use the right one for more stability and direction. And the other point is to add more body rotation for my backhand. I usually don't really turn sideways. Sometimes I kind of not really turn at all, which really messes up my contact points. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comment below if you like this kind of content, or if you have any questions for me. I am pretty excited to continue to work on my game and get ready for sectionals. Next video will probably be a part 2 where you will see how I change my strokes, see if I'm able to find a way to improve my forehands and my backhands, and then I'll jump into more tennis strategies, especially on the tactical sides, and I'll show you how to be one of the best 4-5 players in your area. Alright, so I'll stop the comments for now. I'm gonna let you enjoy the last 4 minutes of point plays, and if you enjoy the content that I make, I would love a like, a subscribe to the channel. It is really the best way to support the channel. It's also a big motivation for me to continue working on my game, continue making content for you guys. Really enjoy doing it. So I would really appreciate any kind of supports that you can give me. You can also give me a shout out in the comments, and always happy to see it and respond to any of the comments that you drop under the videos. And that's it. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.
No, that's a good idea. Yes. Ah.